What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we do upload Pokemon Go content related to PvP, so please consider subscribing to the channel if that is of interest to you. And if you're a returning subscriber like Uzoku on Wunmelu, thank you for the support. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a set of 5 battles in rank 9 in the mid 2900s rating, and I got extremely close to rank 10 after this set. We started at 2934, 5-0, probably wouldn't put us there. We need 66 points, kind of optimistic, but you never know, could face a bunch of rank 10s and get 66. In this video, we're using Dialga lead with Melmetal and Giratina Altered Forme, so Giratina is making its return to the lineup. I know a lot of you are big fans of Giratina Altered, and basically this team, it is a little bit dependent on winning the lead and then hard countering their Dialga safe switch with our Melmetal. After that, we depend on Giratina and Dialga to sort of clean up the rest of their lineup. If we run into a Togekiss in the back, could get problematic if we lose the Melmetal early on, but either way, we're going to run some battles, see how this goes. Let's get into the first one right now. Alright, so let's get into the first match against E3CKO0, E-Echo 0, I guess. Dialga lead into Melmetal, so starting this off with a horrible lead. And I've been testing out different things. I'm running Dialga with Thunder in the hopes that I could land a Thunder on this thing, not debuff myself. In this situation, I actually noticed that the opponent allowed me to get to the Thunder first, so I'm going to throw this and look to dip out right away, hoping to avoid any damage onto the Dialga. Bring in the Giratina here to catch what I hope is a superpower, but it turns out to only be a Rock Slide. So either way, still happy with how that played out. He brings in Giratina here, and this is only an Omnis win. There's no way it's a Shadow Ball because he did not farm up enough energy, so I'm going to let this go through. Look to throw some Dragon Claws here. Should be able to get to 2 and apply a lot of pressure, and he's probably going to knock me out with another Omnis win here. So just trying to do as much damage as I can to the Giratina Origin at this point. He's probably going to fish for the boost, which would put us in a pretty problematic situation, but again, he's very low at this point, so even if he does get the boost, it's not really going to matter. I actually thought I could farm down there, but just come up a little short, and at this point I realized I could actually win switch if I shield here because that Dragon Claw already did go through, or at least I thought it did. Guess it did not, and he got the boost, so I got pretty lucky there. Was expecting the Melmetal to come back in, so I threw the Shadow Snake, but it is a Dialga, so this is totally fine. I'm going to be able to bring in the Melmetal now, and we're in a pretty good position here. So we are down a shield, but it's totally fine. Melmetal can win this match down shields, so I'm going to over farm a little bit here. Let the opponent throw first. This is really good whenever the opponent throws first because this is not going to take debuffed damage. He brings in the Melmetal here. I'm going to have to shield this up because I need to keep this Melmetal alive for the Dialga in the back. Our switch timer's up, so I'm able to switch out, but it was a CMP time, so this Rock Slide's going to go off. Gonna bring in Dialga here, look to farm down. We are able to do that. We're down 2 shields though. Pretty much an even health situation here against their Dialga. 1 Draco Meter is gonna knock us out, but there's potential that he does not want to throw Draco Meter, and he actually allows me to throw this Iron Head, which is going to get a shield from him, which is absolutely huge for us. And he can't farm us down at this point. He has to throw or else he's gonna get knocked out. So he's gonna throw an Iron Head here, and I'm gonna have to bring in the Melmetal here. Hope I could get to 2 superpowers because I'm not sure I'll be able to farm down at this point. We do get to the 2 superpowers. I'm going to decide to throw. Really tempting there to farm down, but I felt like he was 1 away from a move. Throw the superpower here. Will this be? No, he does not have the Iron Head. We're going to take this matchup with the super clutch superpower here. We did come back to win that down 2 shields against the Melmetal Elite, so a very difficult matchup, and we got very fortunate to win that one. Dilap Churn here in the next matchup. And this is a former, I believe this is the player who was #1 in the world back in like season 1 or something. So very talented trainer, obviously running Kyogre here, and he's going to bring in Dialga, so I'm going to bring in the Melmetal here to hard counter Dialga. This is pretty much the strategy on this team. You want to see the safe swap of Dialga, so I'm actually over farming here. The opponent's not throwing, which is smart on his part, so I'm forced to throw here. Don't want to keep building up energy for no reason, so he's going to throw something at this point. Even if it's a Draco Meter, it's not going to KO. But at this point, I was starting to think he probably wants to farm down with the Kyogre and get energy. So he's very likely to throw an Iron Head to leave more health on my Melmetal and farm down with Kyogre. So for that reason, I did not shield there. And he brings in Kyogre here. Gonna throw this superpower, just trying to do as much chip damage as I can to this Kyogre before it knocks me out. And our switch timer just came up right now actually. I could choose to switch out here but didn't really want to at this point, so I just allowed the Melmetal to go down. There is a possibility that he has a Togekiss in the back because this could be the Kyogre Togekiss Dialga line, which would obviously cause a lot of problems for me, so I bring in the Giratina here instead of the Dialga. And I'm going to take This could be a Blizzard. I have 2 shields, so I'm going to choose to shield this up. I wasn't counting. Happens to be only a Surf. He switches out into a Zekrom, so I'm very happy to see this, of course. Going to throw the Dragon Claw here and look to switch out into Dialga. So shield comes up and Dialga's going to come in. We have a lot of energy stored, so I'm going to throw an Iron Head. This should get the second shield here. And I believe after I shield the next move here from the opponent, we should be able to farm down with Dialga and be up against that Kyogre. And after shielding this, I should have enough energy to throw a move at the Kyogre, which should be enough to win the game. So it just depends whether or not he has back-to-back here. He does not. So he goes down. Kyogre is going to come back in. Going to throw this Surf because there's no way he has a Blizzard after throwing a Surf previously. Not going to KO. And I'm going to get to the Iron Head, but he's going to choose to back out. So we're off to a 2-0 start here in this set. Moving into the next match against JB Zek 98. And we're going to be leading Dialga into Mewtwo. And surprisingly, Mewtwo actually has a pretty dominant matchup against Dialga, as you can see there, aside from the 2 shields. But even in the 2 shield win for Dialga, the opponent doesn't necessarily have to use their second shield. So they will lose, but they'll have a shield advantage. But we generally will have energy to throw the next move. So kind of goes both ways. Here, obviously Focus Blast will KO, but I chose to let this go through. It happens to be a side strike. And at this point, I either have to decide whether I want to win lead, which is going to involve me to use both shields and farm down, or just let this go down here, take the shield advantage and come in and farm down the Mewtwo. I choose at this point that I'm actually going to commit the shields, farm it down and have energy for the next Pokemon, hope to get the shield and even this match up in shields with switch advantage. So that's what we do here. Opponent's going to bring in Dialga. So I'm not going to get to 2 Iron Heads most likely, so I'm just going to throw the Thunder here in case it does go through, doing a bit more damage. But most likely, he's going to shield, thinking this could be a Draco Meteor. Does get the shield. And looked like we lagged a little bit there. It doesn't really matter. Bring in the Melmetal here. He's going to switch out into Groudon. So fortunately for me, I do have Giratina, which has pretty good matchup. But I need to get off this superpower to ensure that this matchup is a lot more playable, because shields are down and 2 Earthquakes would be enough to knock out my Giratina. So I need to put this Groudon in the range where I could beat it with Dragon Claws. And I feel that that superpower was definitely necessary in order to do that. So I'm going to throw the Dragon Claw here. And this is going to... Well, he can't shield, he has no shields left. So I'm going to throw the second Dragon Claw and look to farm down here if possible. But the opponent here does get farmed down, so that's really good for me. Not sure if I was going to be able to farm that down there, to be honest. Opponent's going to throw his energy here, which is really good for me, obviously, because that means that my Melmetal is going to be able to farm up before it's able to throw another move. And in this position, obviously, we're in such a great position here. I'm actually over farming a little bit, and he might actually be in range now where 1 superpower is enough to KO. It's going to be very close, but this looks like it might be enough. Maybe just be a little bit short. No, it is enough. Okay, so we take that matchup there. And we are 3-0 so far in this set, facing Jabroni in the next matchup. Shout out to The Rock and all his jabronis. Dialga into Giratina Origin here. Shiny Giratina Origin. So, you know, this trainer definitely got some luck with the raids. Opponent is building up a lot of energy here. He has enough for a Shadow Ball, switches out. I'm actually going to switch out as well. So now we both have energy banked, bringing this Melmetal here. And I would say at this point, the advantage is definitely in our favor. So Melmetal here, going to build up to 100 energy. Throw the superpower. Opponent's choosing not to throw. Fair enough move. Now he's going to throw a move here. Draco Meteor obviously would hurt a lot, but I'm going to choose to let it go because it will not KO, and I'm going to get off a second move no matter what. It is a Draco Meteor. Opponent could technically choose to shield here and take switch, because I don't think I'd be able to get to another one here. Be very close because he did debuff himself, so he chooses to let it go down. Going to bring in the Groudon. We get farmed down at this point. Going to bring in Giratina here. So I have Giratina aligned into the Groudon, and I'll have the Dialga aligned into the Giratina Origin. So basically, as long as I call the Earthquakes here, I should be good to go. Call this first Earthquake here. Going to look to throw the Dragon Claws. And I have to be aware of the opponent's energy at this point, because I know he's going to look to switch out at some point, knowing he probably needs that Groudon for the Dialga. So I'm going to throw another Dragon Claw here. And I expect the opponent to throw 1 Earthquake here. He does use a shield. And I'm definitely not going to shield up this second Earthquake because it will not KO. I should be able to get off this Dragon Claw here. So Earthquake's going to come through. And I'm going to throw this Dragon Claw. And at this point, the opponent should be drawing energy. So I'm going to start keeping track of his mud shots to know what's going to happen in the end. So he's building up energy here. He's not going to throw. He's going to catch this. But we lose CMP tie, which is honestly, in my opinion, doesn't make any sense. I clicked it before he switched out. so I shouldn't lose CMP tie there. But fortunately for us, he only threw an Omni Swing, which means we're going to get off this Dragon Claw, which is absolutely huge for us. Gonna look to switch into Dialga. Remember, I had Iron Head stored. He may have forgot about that Iron Head I had stored. Gonna do a lot of damage. Look to farm down here before he gets to another move. Groudon's gonna come back in. It does not have enough for an Earthquake. Him throwing here, 1,000,000% sure it's a Fire Punch because he didn't build enough for an Earthquake, so I let it go through. And at this point, I can pretty much farm down, shield up this next Fire Punch, and we're gonna take game. So definitely a win there, based on knowing the opponent's energy, keeping track of that, and just keeping the alignment pretty much. So we're 4-0, looking to go 5-0 in this set, thinking this might be the game that could potentially get me to rank 10. Phantom Ace X, another Giratina Origin lead. So most of the leads in this set were pretty good, minus the first one, and maybe the Mewtwo, but generally speaking, I'll take these leads every time, winning 3 to 4 leads in a set. Very good. We get the Dialga to come out here, and this is pretty much what we want to happen. Dialga comes out, we have the Melmetal. Opponent's throwing first tier as well, so this is even better for us. It's only an Iron Head, not going to do anything. Going to look to throw these superpowers here. And let's see if the opponent wants to invest any shields. First superpower comes through. I'm going to look to throw a second superpower because remember last time I tried overfarm a little bit, got hit by another Iron Head, and I was forced to use a shield. So not going for that mistake again. Just get rid of this Dialga. Giratina Origin comes back in. I'm going to look to throw these Rock Slides here. And most of the time I will get farmed down here, but I felt I had a bit too much health left on this Melmetal that I didn't really want to get farmed down all the way. And it looked like this opponent really wanted to farm down knowing that I was double debuffed. So these Rock Slides aren't doing too much. So I decided to switch out here to Dialga, which is a very uncharacteristic play for me. And I think at this point, I actually let the Shadow Ball go through, which is a little bit risky. And he happens to have a Togekiss in the back. And you know this is not good because I have Giratina Altered in the back. So 5-0 is not looking good right now. At least we got a shield here from Togekiss, but we're going to get farmed down. And I know my Melmetal has a move because I switched out. So as long as I can get this second shield from the Togekiss, maybe there's a chance with the Giratina in the back to do something with 2 shields. So I'm going to throw the Rock Slide here. This is definitely going to get the shield from the Togekiss. And it's going to come down to the big, thick girl Giratina in the back. Can she win with Shadow Sneak? I have 2 shields, so I can pretty much shield up anything. As long as there's no boost, I honestly think there's play here. So when Aerial Ace comes through, I'm looking to build up. Just build up. He has no shields. He switched down to Giratina Origin, so I'm going to throw the Dragon Claw here. This is going to knock out the Giratina. And I wasn't sure how much energy that Giratina still had, so I didn't want to risk undercharging to maybe farm up a little bit more energy. But here you can see I get the Shadow Sneak, and I should have enough for a second one before this charm comes through, and we are going to actually take this game against Togekiss in the back with Giratina. Super thick girl, putting in the work there. 5-0 set. Will it be enough to hit rank 10? 29-34 we started at. 5-0. I can tell you right now, it was not enough. We get to 29-87, and I was one good set away from rank 10 after this set of 5 battles, so hopefully I can hit it soon. So that was the closest I got to rank 10 so far this season. I did peak on the leaderboard at this time, and I could safely say after this, things just went completely south and took a huge downfall. So you're gonna see starting the next video, the tanking begins, and trust me, I'm not tanking for content. I'm not trying to grind out this rank 10 push. I would like to get out of the way as soon as possible. I just started losing and we tanked big. So next video, you're gonna start seeing the tank. I guess in a sense, maybe this will be a way to show that, you know, even if you do tank, you can still come back from it. I mean, there's no guarantee I'm gonna hit rank 10 now that I tanked, but I still have hope that I will, and let's see if I could do it. I don't really care for the leaderboard this time. I just want to make rank 10. It's disappointing to tank, but it's part of the game. Happens to everybody. Even the best players tank. Look at somebody like FP Sticks. He tanked a lot, was struggling this season. He's number 1 on the leaderboard right now. That is absolutely insane and should be motivating to every single one of you that it can be done. If you guys enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like, commenting, subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.